What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Albert in the house bright and early. Good morning to you. Good morning to Cindy, Corey, Frank. We got Georgia. Good morning to Jay, Jeff, Joe, Lauren, Lucian. Lucian, I think you were the first one to pop in today. You were the first one in the room. That's bright and early. We got Marius, Martina, Mike, Rob. Lucian, how far are you away from the potential storms? I hope you're taking some precaution. Everybody in Florida, it sounds like it's going to get a little crazy. So hope everyone stays safe, does what you got to do to protect yourself, and even if you have to worry about possessions later. But hopefully the hurricane. Oh, you're hanging out in Wisconsin now. Okay, you should be good. You should be good. But hopefully everyone stays safe. Looks like it's coming in pretty hot and heavy, but we'll see tomorrow. I think, right? I think tomorrow. We got Spy. We actually got a lot going on, but we got Spy right now with a little bit of a gap up. I don't know why. I have no idea. I was looking at a lot of like positions, a lot of individual names. There's a lot that's getting clobbered, but we somehow have the Spy up. So I'm a little suspicious on that. We do have some chip names. I think Tesla's pushing up a little bit higher. I think Tesla's up. You got a couple of the big names gapping up. But then for the most part, everything's kind of down slash flat. So peculiar, but we'll see. We'll see where this day takes us. Obviously, we had a little bit of a gap and go yesterday. We opened up inside day after we had a kind of a retest gap. Did anything really change or develop? I don't know, but I'm gonna start to look a little bit more at the downside in the market, I think. Obviously, just incredible move from August 5th. Strong move. We got this pullback. So if this is our kind of new wave count, this is a one, two, this is all three, four. Do we have it in us for one more big push? We still have election season. That's less than a month away with everything else going on. It's easy to forget, but I'm sure that's going to start drumming up even further. We'll see what happens. But then yesterday was a gap and go to the bear side. We came in, we hit that VPOC. So pretty much all the VPOCs have been now played with, tested. If we start getting down there again, we could see a little bit bigger of a sell-off. Only thing really holding us up is this 20 EMA next level down. So if we're looking for like, okay, where's the next spot? The next one I see, and I don't know if we get the bounce here, but 563.15. We got another one coming in, 562.83, and then we got some bigger levels down at like 561.53. So my question really is, resistance for today would be 570.70. I've got one more, which is yesterday's VPOC, still closing up higher than the day before, interestingly enough. Most of the volume came in there. So 571.01. So I think as we start to get to that resistance, just be very careful. It's going to be a little tough, I think, to break through. We'll see again. Today's close is going to be important, and we still have CPI this week. That could help push the markets. I think we had some Fed talk yesterday from Neil, and he was kind of saying, forget inflation. That's not what we're talking about anymore. It's now about jobs. So that's going to probably throw a little bit more weight onto the job market. Those job numbers, unemployment numbers that come in. So we'll see. We'll see. And then now we're pretty much in this range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 trading days. So just over almost about 3 weeks of just chop. Not not incredibly fun as a day trader. You have things just not hitting targets by a couple pennies and then reversing and just pretty challenging within the zone. But that's what the market gives us sometimes, and then the other times it gives us this, and you're just like, okay, lots of money. So we'll see. You gotta weather the storm, no pun intended for anybody in Florida, but we'll see what happens. I'm watching to see if we get a little bit more push, and maybe we even got up there 570.70. Did we get there pre-market yet? Don't know if we did. I don't know if we did. The high was 570.23, so we already kind of hit that. We've already got some of that pre-market volume built in. Those are going to be some tough levels, I think, to take out. We'll see. I guess watch that Hive pre-market. We start breaking through that. We have a chance, I think, up to this. Well, that next level, yeah, it takes us to 571.24. Good news for the Bulls is we still are above the 200 on a 3-minute chart, so mini time frame. We're still above the 100, so that's not bad. And then I guess again for the daily case, we are still above pretty much all moving averages, and we've just been having a massive chop fest. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm very suspicious about this gap up, though. That was not a great close, although it did retest and we did get a little bounce. So I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place in this market. I think the market's all over the place and I'm staying steady. I'm not sure. We got the Qs. The Qs also got a close underneath the previous day, Fridays. I can't today doesn't feel like a Tuesday, but underneath Friday's open. So that's not a strong signal of health. The other thing that we could watch for too is you got a little bit of a head and shoulders in the market, and that would put our neckline somewhere right around here. Again, we still have this 20 that could hold us up. I've got another spot right over here, which again, yesterday, perfect bounce off of it, but you want to hold that 481 on the SPY. I think anything under that, you have a lot more room down on the Qs. That takes us to 473.07. So watch some of those longs. I'm not saying the market's going to crash. I think it's just something to look for. And then even if this, I mean, I wouldn't really consider the market crashing if we get back down to 473 anyway. I think that's still a healthy retest. The problem is if we start getting through that, there's a whole bunch of levels that never really retested anything. And you could see probably as low as 449.69 in a long game, but we'll see. But watch that head and shoulder, see how that one develops. I think if we start getting some kind of close, I'm not sure if we do it today, but I think if we start getting any close above 485.64, that puts the Bulls in a little bit better spot. And then realistically, we need somewhere above 489.62, I think, to continue this bigger bull trend that we've been having. So again, just inside at least for resistance for today. 485.50 is going to be a huge level. First level down is 482.96, but we've blown through that. And I think that takes us to the next level, 480.85. So pretty decent range, but we're kind of almost smack in the middle of it, right out of the gate. But we'll see. Yep. If you guys got tickers, let me know. We'll take a look at those. BTC USD, the first one from Real Virtual Demand. And then we got a firm as well. Let me know if you guys see anything else interesting. We got Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. So far today, hanging out. Pretty interesting reversal candle yesterday. So we were starting to get up through all of this resistance. I really want to see a close 63, 372 to stay bullish. Otherwise, that reversal, that volume, not typically the best sign. Doesn't mean we're out of it yet. Having a small little rest day could make some sense. We'll see. And then if today closes green and at any point we start breaking underneath it, then I would look out below again, not saying we have a major, huge pullback, but it could be the start of one. That would be also not the picture perfect head and shoulders, but we got up into this zone before, kind of failed. We made one new higher high. We were starting to look decent. So I think we're just in a little bit of a chop zone, but watch that reversal candle that we put in yesterday. That's a little bit scary. A little bit scary, and the bulls tried to break that resistance and got slammed. So we'll see. Otherwise, it looks kind of quiet in Bitcoin land for the most part. Yesterday seemed a little bit more dramatic. Let's take a look at Affirm. AFRM. Affirm has a interesting gap up. Let's see, was there news on Affirm? Okay, so they got an upgrade to a buy. Price target $68. That's a quite the distance away. Mm, pretty close, I think, to 52-week highs. Yeah, just off of 52-week highs, and the upgrades start coming in. Interesting. But that got us, at least the initial price action got us above the 20 EMA. We do have a little resistance right where we're opening, so somewhere in this $40.84 range. I would watch this candle from October 1st. If we are opening right where we are, I think we have a chance to move a little bit higher with continuous resistance coming in. But 41.25 would be the next one after that, 41.90. It is a gap and go, so I'd probably want to lean bullish. If we end up opening, I would think under $40.75, you get much more likely chance of a pullback, retrace, and then looking whether later today at 39.20 or looking for some kind of a potential swing might make sense. But that is a bullish upgrade. That's some positivity in the market, which is good. A little bit different than SPY and Qs. Let's get this one higher on the lists. Mm. And then I guess the real target, so the bigger volume came on this day. That could be a retest. So for a swing trade, I don't know about day trade, maybe though. I don't think we get up there today, but 44.51 would be my target. But we'll see what this one wants to open. All right, we got DocuSign. Another nice little gap up. Let me go back to a firm real quick. Yeah, a firm is in a big volume zone. Docu looks a little different. Docu, while it is at some resistance, we did buy into this one on the way up too. That makes me want to be a little cautious at open. That being said, we've gotten past all of that volume down here. There's not really much holding us back on a weekly basis. We have a potential good breakout. Uh, I think at open we could get a small, tiny pullback, but I think it's got a better shot to run with more range than a firm does. Was this a upgrade too? DocuSign's trading higher around 6% or 20 stocks moving pre-market. I kind of like that one. I think out of the gate, this one's got some potential. Again, we did buy up into this. There's probably going to be a little bit of profit taking. So I don't know if I want to jump in as soon as the bell rings. And if it just pushes from there, I'll probably miss it. But nice gap. I like that one a lot. All right, SMCI. Yeah, SMCI is gapping up as well. We were looking at this one yesterday. It was having a pretty crazy move. Can it go higher? Of course. I would be very cautious on this one. Strong day yesterday. I think we had some decent volume come in. The fact that we're now officially opening above this kind of drastic sell-off candle, that is positive for the stock. I like that a lot. We were looking at if this thing went to extended targets yesterday, we would be right in this range we're opening at now. So if anybody held this overnight, they were looking for a swing. My biggest problem on this one is where this thing's opening after that big retest or big kind of almost breakout, massive bullish candle. This one can get overly dramatic, so maybe we do push higher, but this one I would need some kind of a bigger retest on. If this one starts to break, and we can see where this one wants to open to, my next level of resistance is 51.73. That kind of closes up this gap a little bit. That also pushes us into that 50. But if we could get through all of that, target for me would be about 54.72. So it gives me about $3.72 to the higher side. To the downside, if we do fully retest, you got 47.78. So that's still about $4 to the downside. So again, kind of smack in the middle in terms of ranges. You do have a little bit more resistance than you do support at these levels. But I would appreciate this one just pulling back a little bit. So come back down to this $48 mark. I think this one's got a much higher chance of a potential fade than a lot of things with that move from yesterday. Roblox, they got the good old Hindenburg report. Hmm They're suffering the same fate as SMCI. So we'll see. But yeah, some of their numbers may be overstated. They've inflation hit their reports quicker than the economy, I think. But Roblox is one of those ones. Uh Lots of selling into it. You are at some kind of support. I don't like trading. I don't like going long on stuff that just had the Hindenburg report come out. It's usually a pretty bearish sentiment. If this one wants to come a little bit lower, which I would be okay if it does. If you want to try it longer or in the bullish direction, you got 36.67. So look somewhere around there for some kind of support. See if this wants to drop a little bit further, but I'm probably not touching this one today. That is definitely a retest gap in a bullish direction. We do have a little bit of support. I don't like the Hindenburg anything. I don't like Hindenburg. Um, if we start breaking or if we got to close today, let's go even a little lower, but somewhere below 36.30, there's not a lot holding you back to like 33 and then maybe back down to like this 31.57. So it's got some more room to the downside. This is anybody that is in this thing bullish since, I mean, for a long time now, I guess, really getting in since July, you're starting to lose money in this position. I can see some bulls wanted to step in here, but come a little bit lower for me, and then if I'm going to play, that's where I think the bounce is. But it's a big gap for me to go short. We got Microsoft. Microsoft has been interesting. I'm trying to figure this one out. There's a lot I like and a lot I don't like. Um, I don't know what to start with first on this one. We're gonna start with this daily pattern of this big old head and shoulders. That's terrifying me. So that's gonna be in the negative camp. Uh the fact that on this move up, we're now past the 618 decisively. That's gonna be strike number two. Strike number three is we had this little bit of a potential uptrend. We broke that, so that's three strikes. But I played my baseball game differently, so I do have some calls on it. I do have some calls. I've been piecing in very, very slowly. I got some pretty much. The last one I got was pretty much close to the end of the day after this move. Just because we're on that blue line, we do have that 200 to hold us up. It's still Microsoft, and then we still have earnings season coming out. So I'm like, maybe I'll probably hold through earnings if we don't get some kind of bounce. Wave count wise is the other thing that I'm still actually going to throw this in a positive direction. So wave count, I'm only seeing a one, a two, a three, a four. That means I think there's a shot we could get at least one more rally, one more pump, maybe even to like this 430 zone longer term. Not saying that we have to go crazy and break out and make that one new higher high. Obviously, you could have a lower high, a double top. You could make that break. So I don't know about any of that, but it's looking rough. It is looking pretty rough right now. So we'll see how much power that 200 has. That's the last thing we have kind of hanging on to this one. All the VPOCs have been down. If this one wants to come a little bit lower, so this is also what I'm kind of waiting for, and then I'm going to get some probable puts if we get a close below it, just to hedge a little bit. But if we could get down to the next stop that's never really been retested until almost today, we'll actually go through that in a second too. But I got 403.63, and then the next one down is like 402.92. So somewhere in that 403 range. Where did we get to today on this pre-market? I don't think we got all the way down there, but we got pretty close. So we got down to like the 405.43. So we didn't quite make it, but we got very, very close to possible bounce spot, and we're opening up here. So again, doesn't look bullish. It's still in a very, very interesting area where I think it might find some interest. Anything really past this 403 is a big nightmare for bulls. It's got a lot of room down even to like this 372 zone. So we'll see. But the daily chart doesn't look fantastic. It's showing a little bit of weakness. The fact that we're opening back after we got down to 405, now we're hanging about above that 200. We'll see. We'll see how Microsoft wants to play out. I'm probably not going to day trade this one. If I was, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't want to day trade this one. I still might. I do think my risk to reward, even though everything looks just rough, would actually be in the bullish direction. If we come up to even retest yesterday's VPOC, I still get a $5 move on it, which is not horrible. And then I could throw my stops probably underneath that 200 somewhere. So yeah, you know what? I actually do have some risk reward in a bullish direction. I'm gonna go for a 1.2 if I trade it though. I'm not going for a home run. All right. We got PDD. Now we'll take a look at Tessie. Yeah, China. They reopened yesterday. Government came out and they were supposed to get like, I don't know, $20 trillion of stimulus. I think they got far less. And then the government said that we don't have to give more stimulus because our economy is actually not doing bad. So on one hand, the market is coming down. Like the market doesn't like less stimulus. The other hand, the reason being is because the economy is strong, but then why'd you give the stimulus in the first place? So I don't know, a little confusing situation. I'm still in. The only Chinese stock that I have and is in the long term is Baba. I'm still holding it. I'm not gonna let something shake me out because I think valuation is still pretty low. So longer term, I think everything works out. And again, if the economy is fine, then give me like buy the dip on everything China. Just I mean, you're still sitting in a fantastic breakout for the entire country. Uh, if they're saying, okay, we're down because you didn't get as much stimulus, but then the economy is fine, then that's a reason to not sell, I would think. And we did just make a outrageously crazy move. So we'll see. But watch support somewhere around 139.70. To the low end of that, we could probably get to like 135.86. Otherwise, I kind of want to play this as a retest gap up to, I think you got room to 152.22. It's going to be very volatile. PDD, Baba, Baidu, especially a lot of the smaller Chinese company names. Probably very volatile, but I think there could be, with that range that we're putting in today, we could have some interesting moves across the board. So we'll see what that wants to bring. And again, probably out of the gate, I'm thinking one, I don't think many people know what stocks they own or why things are gapping up or down. I think somebody out there and a lot of people are going to look at this going, man, it's down $11 today. So I think that initial reaction is a little probably fear panic. I think we get some additional sell off, and then I think you get the buy the dippers that probably end up stepping in at some point today. Tesla, I think we're what, 1 day away from Robo Taxi Day? Is that tomorrow or is that Thursday? One of those 2 days, somewhere in the next 48 hours, we got Robo Taxi Day. And I think that's kind of holding up the Tesla stock a little bit. Maybe it is I don't know. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be interesting. But it's either buy the rumor, sell the news, and then after the conference or after the robo taxi thing comes out, then Tesla just gives back a lot. Or they have the most revolutionary product that's ready to go to market, and the market loves it, and we get a crazy move. So volatility is going to be high on Tesla. You got a little bit of support zones below you. That was, again, not a great close. We did not quite make it down to 239.53. That would be my support spot. Anything below that, I think we're now looking for almost a retest back to this 229 zone. So not great. I think if this one gets bought up, watch for resistance around 244.99, essentially 245. You're gonna try to go short on that. That's probably where I would do it. It is a gap and go bullish, so I probably think some continuation to the higher side continues. But getting in somewhere short around 245 and then having your stops 249 for a day trade might be tough. That's where I wouldn't mind looking for a swing though. So we'll see. Or if we get up into this range, 245, maybe we get a better setup somewhere intraday to maybe go short. Not saying this is definitely short and crashing and all that stuff again, but I think that would be an interesting spot. Anywhere past this 245, that would take you up to about 248.45 to the bull side. Otherwise, you're in smack in the middle almost of 4 days of straight consolidation after a huge gap down. Okay, we'll see. Uber, the Ubes. Looks like we're running into a little bit of resistance, just kind of from this last uptrend. It is making higher highs. Almost a blow off top yesterday. We're gapping above it. We're holding a good support. I think if you're going to try to play this one, you're going to be looking for about 76.12 extended target for today. I think 76.49. We'll see if we can get up somewhere in those ranges. But it is inside day. Yesterday was bullish. I think if you're going to try to come in bullish, you're trying to come in a little bit lower at least. Let's see if you could capture around 74, 78. All right, which ones are we missing? Docu's joining the S&P mid cap. Yep. Yeah, I think they were announced with Palantir, I believe, right? AMD. I don't. That's not new. I thought they were already joining. Unless I'm thinking. That's the opening bell. AMD looks strong. Nvidia also kind of looks strong pre-market as well. So I would only be leaning bullish. AMD got some good targets up to 176.79, but that morning bell means, unfortunately, I gotta stop the screen share. I gotta disconnect from YouTube. You guys are awesome. And make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe buttons. You guys are incredible. Catch you guys later.